You need to shut the fuck up.
Broadcasting live from the basement of a Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Tuesday, October 17th, 2017. I'm Minx, and you are here for Tied Up Tuesday with Gray Cloud, who is not in the screen because he's busy on him. But he's here.
Yes, I am. It's Tuesday. It's awesome.
Right. You guys, I am so sorry about the late start. Fucking Skype. Fuck Skype.
Woo, Skype.
Like, I know normally if you tune into our like Tuesday and Thursday afternoon shows, Jose's Taco Truck with KJ and Ghosty, normally you can hear KJ just go off on about Skype, and like you know exactly where he stands with Skype. But oh my goodness. It's fucking Tuesday, dude. I'm going on 10 days now of work and no break, and I'm exhausted.
Why?
I am exhausted. Well, you know, money. That's always a good thing.
Well,
you know,
you need it. I mean, come on.
You know, maybe. But, yeah, no, because I'm going to be, I'm moving here soon. So.
Oh.
Right? So.
That's awesome.
Gotta save up that money because I'm really bad about that.
Well, you know, can't take it with you, so.
Right? Exactly. I don't know. Fuck it.
Sweet.
But yeah.
So
what? Oh, go. Oh.
No, I was gonna say. So it's been It was an interesting weekend. It was a longer weekend.
For you or for me?
Well, I had a longer weekend because I screwed up my flights for school, so it was my Sunday kind of sucked, but it didn't. I mean, I got to sleep in.
Oh, nice.
Before I caught my flight on Sunday morning or on Sunday, but it sucked because I didn't land until 21:30 or some garbage, and by the time I got home, I was exhausted. I think I passed out almost immediately.
Right.
But no, it's been it was a good week, and I got some training this week, so that's why I'm not able to communicate like I normally do.
Yeah.
So that's 2 weeks in a row with comms issues.
Right?
So
God.
That's awesome. But how was your weekend other than working?
I worked. Okay, so let's see. This weekend I worked labor and delivery, and those are 12-hour shifts, right? So I worked 12 on Saturday and Sunday. And normally labor and delivery, we do something, right? Within those 12 hours, normally a baby and or two, possibly more, gets born, right? That normally happens. We had zero labors for 48 hours.
Wow.
And only 3 women came in for triage, and then we were like, you have not ruptured. You are not in active labor. Go home. And that was it. We sat around and did nothing. I learned about what happy planners are, because apparently that's a thing that some of my OB nurses are into, and like they get a calendar and it's like a bunch of stickers and like it's like a scrapbook but a calendar, and it's called the Happy Planner or like the Happy Calendar. I don't know, but it's fucking happy. So okay. Right? I don't know. And then found out way too much about one nurse. I was like, I don't need to know all of this, but you're still talking. I'm going to go back to my phone now. Right? And then yesterday I did a 3-hour case. Well, something that was scheduled for 3 hours. I did it in under an hour and a half. So suck a dick. Like, not you guys, but, you know, fucking, what is it? Like, you know, schedulers. Ha, suck a dick. Said it was going to be 3 hours, and it was under half than that. Woo! Right? So I got super pumped and excited about that because I was like, fuck yeah, right? And then today is just fucking long. It was just long. Did a total hip on a lady, and yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if this patient wakes up. It's kind of yeah, no.
Don't say that.
No, well, I mean, patient left the room still tubed, so fingers crossed. Yeah. Aw, Drew Roberts doesn't like my voice. Poor Drew.
Well.
Oh well. If you don't like it, you can go away. I don't care. This is my voice. I can't change it. So sorry. It's okay.
Totally.
I don't fucking care. Meh.
Oh man.
Right? But yeah, so that was my day. It was fucking long. It was so long.
Well, at least it's over. Well,
Yeah, right.
The work part of it, anyway.
Right, and I had originally thought that, you know, I was gonna get a break for tomorrow, but no, they need me tomorrow as well. So that's gonna be day 11 straight. So yay!
So you know,
excited.
greenage, you know, right?
Right, yeah, right. I'm getting
Line-
paid, and
Blend
then
your pockets.
right, yeah, and then. I do know for sure. I told him, I was like, I'm not working Thursday. Like, I need one day. I just need one day, please. I'm not working. So I know for sure I'm not working Thursday. And if they ask me, I'm going to tell them, fuck off. And then I work for 5 hours on Friday. And then I'm pulling another 12 on Sunday.
Oh.
Yeah. Dude, I'm fucking balls to the wall or something. I don't know. But, it's like, yeah.
It can always be worse.
Yeah. All these people. No dogs in the background? No. Sorry. The only one here with me is Zeus. And, he's my old man. Come here. Zeus. Oh, speaking of dogs. So tonight's guest is Jonathon Jackson. Oh, hi. From Military Working Dog Association. Or Military Working Dog Team Support Association. And he's a veteran, and I believe he was a handler. And so he's going to come on and talk to us all about what it's like being a handler. So that's going to be in the next hour. I know. And sorry. And then so I will kind of want to get going on everything because there's a topic that I really want to discuss here, but I know you're really excited to talk about Bergdahl, so I'll let you start. I'll let you start.
Let's not talk about being excited. It's more disdain than anything. So, for those of you who may not be tracking, the infamous Bo Bergdahl pleads guilty to desertion, faces up to life in prison. And that's because he looks like he pled guilty to both charges, the two charges of desertion and misbehavior before the enemy. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a lot of I've seen some of the chats and some of the forums, and even when we ran it on the main page and whatnot, and some of the other pages that covered it, everybody's up in arms that it's the maximum of 5 years for the desertion and the life imprisonment for the misbehavior in front of the enemy. Well, a lot of people are angry about, this is, we're at war. No, words mean things, and there are We are a nation of laws. Even in the military, we have the Uniform Code of Military Justice, and it's laid out specifically on what we can and cannot do. Right? We are not at war. Okay? By the technical definitions of what's laid out in the law and in the Constitution, we are not at war.
Like now, technically?
We are not.
Or
okay?
or the entire like global war on terrorism, like the whole Afghan campaign.
I got it. Okay, I know what we call it.
No. I'm just asking because I know technically, we invaded Iraq without Congress's approval, ish, and that technically we can't declare war without Congress's approval.
Right. So, words mean things, right? And everybody's up in arms about this. And this is just based on some things I've read. I am not a JAG. I am not a lawyer. I know we've got one on staff who could probably help us out. But words mean things, guys, okay? And this is why both charges were brought, okay? Because you nail him you just tack on the charges, and you hope you get them both, and that you always hope that the heavier one will stick, right? Mm-hmm. So now it's up to a judge to decide his sentencing, right? Mm-hmm. So we'll go through. So I've got the article pulled up in front of me. Let's see here. So he disappeared. Everybody knows the story. He disappeared from Afghanistan in June 2009, held captive by the Taliban until May 2014. Quote from Bergdahl: "I left my observation post on my own. I understand leaving was against the law." Right? So he owns it apparently, but if he really owns it, it's one of those things that the judge will have to weigh heavily. Does he really own it, or is he owning it to try and take the onus of it a little bit to try and better his case, as it were, when it comes to sentencing? Mm-hmm. So let's see here. Another big key about it: there was no pretrial agreement prior to Bergdahl's guilty plea. Both the government and the defense said. I heard it.
He went in under what's known as a naked plea, hoping that since he did plead guilty, the judge would show some sort of leniency. Because, he did waive his whole trial by jury of his peers.
Yeah. Because he didn't stand a chance in that.
Which is, honestly, that's the smart thing to do in his case, because it's a lot easier to convince one person that you're innocent than 12, right? But since he's now pled guilty, we're skipping the whole trial phase because apparently his lawyers are like, we can't even convince one person. So this is probably your best bet.
Right. So, as you go along with this, let's go back here. So he did enter a naked plea. Sentencing hearing will begin on October 23rd. Lord only knows how long that'll run. Let's see here.
I do know that today his lawyers submitted a request to the judge to dismiss his case.
Well, that's not going to happen.
That happened today on the grounds that now that President Trump is commander-in-chief, on the grounds that he is not going to get a fair sentencing because chain of command is biased against him, right?
Right.
However, since being elected, the only thing Trump needs to do is keep his mouth shut, which he's done so far. Which is shocking. I know it's shocking for a lot of people. But
hold on. Do we need to send out a tweet then? I mean, just kind of.
Don't you fucking dare! No. No. So, because when asked about on Monday, so yesterday, right? Yes, yesterday. Yesterday, they asked President Trump, hey, what are your thoughts on Bergdahl pleading guilty? And he was very smart, and he said, "I believe everyone knows my thoughts on this. I've said them before." So he didn't reiterate anything, you know,
Right.
because if he had, I think that would have given enough cause for the judge to dismiss the case based on unfair or like on biased opinions, you know?
Well, and see, I don't see it that way because everybody has that, I will follow, if it's illegal and immoral or unethical, you don't have to follow that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you could almost file that under, again, you could file it under unethical or you could file it as immoral. Okay. From it being let's go back to the whole frickin' tweeting policy issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same concept. Just because he tweets it doesn't necessarily make it policy.
What?
Right?
You mean everything he tweets out isn't law? What?
Well, come on, let's be awesome here.
Shenanigans. I don't believe
shenanigans. What's the name of that place you go to all the time with stuff on the wall?
you. Oh, shenanigans.
So anyway, I digress. But yeah, and here it is. During the 2016 presidential campaign, Donald Trump said Bergdahl, quote unquote, should be shot for walking off his post. In quote unquote, in the good old days, he would have been executed, Trump said. Now, that was during the campaign. He has, like you said, he did not say that as his president.
Yeah, he has yet to say anything along those lines since becoming commander-in-chief.
Right.
So that's which is a good thing. That is honestly a very, very good thing because that means sentencing should, in theory, commence as planned since he has made no negative remarks on Bergdahl since becoming president.
Right. And I think you would hope he understands that weight words could carry.
Yeah.
But again, even if the commander-in-chief did say something or tweet something about this case, I believe and I have enough faith in the criminal justice system and the military justice system that it would not weigh or have an effect on the way the judge renders a sentence.
Yeah.
Now, I could be wrong. And like you said, it's a naked plea. What does that take into account with the judge? Are the remarks sincere? Honestly, you just don't know until it comes time for the sentencing to start.
Yeah.
So everybody waits until the 23rd to see what happens. Personally, fucking throw the book at him and lock him away. That's how Great Cloud feels. Fucking send him away. But that's neither here nor there.
A lot of the people that I work with are veterans, and a lot of us all agree on the same thing. Give him life with the possibility of parole in like 25 years.
Why?
30.
So he can be another fucking Manning and be commuted after, well, not for at least 7 more years.
So you think so you're thinking life without the possibility of parole. That's what you want.
I would totally agree with that. There are a lot of fucked up things you can do in the military. There are a lot of things you can get in trouble for. There's a lot of things you can go to court-martial for, and receive non-judicial punishment for. There are a handful that are just absolutely unforgivable. And with my background, treason's up there, espionage is up there, and fucking walking away from your duty.
Right.
And deserting not just your post, okay? You're not just walking away from, an installation or where you're taking watch or whatever. You're walking away from your fucking team. You're walking away from guys that have put their trust in you, that have their back, you're walking away from that chain of command, who is now down a soldier, one, and two, and you see it in a lot of the interviews, the guys that went out there and risked life and limb to try and find a Dust One. Okay? Fuck him. I hope he goes to jail for life in prison without parole and he rots.
Yeah.
You walked away from the brotherhood and family that you swore to protect and defend. So, I don't give two shits what his strategy is. I don't give two shits that he says, oh, I own this now. Fuck him. He needs to go away. Period. And hopefully that's my only rant for the night.
I don't know. It might not be. So a lot of people in Facebook Live have said he needs to die. And yeah.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Everybody's got the way they feel about it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If we were in a declared state of war, I would wholeheartedly agree with that. If the circumstances were more dire, I probably still would agree with that. However, as of right now, he needs to just go the fuck away.
Yeah.
And based on some inside information I have, more than likely, he will have to be in protective custody for a lot of his time when he gets locked up.
Oh, I'm sure. I don't doubt it.
You know, bad guys are great. There's still honor amongst thieves.
There is.
So, yeah. Best of luck to him. When he
Right. Good luck.
when he gets to the DB, because more likely that's where he's fucking going. Oh, it'd be better to put him in Supermax. Oh my god.
Supermax.
Yeah. So there's this awesome prison out in Florence, Colorado, called Supermax.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, it's Florence ADX something or other. It's Florence ADX. So it's like where that's where Tim McVeigh was held before he was executed back in Oklahoma. It's where Terry Nichols currently is. It's like where Aldrich Ames is. I mean, there's a lot of fucked up shitheads that are there at Florence ADX, also known as Supermax.
And that's where you want him to go.
I would love for him to go there. I would absolutely love it if he went to fucking Supermax. Because, yeah, it's Supermax, and he will spend 23 hours a day in a cell, hopefully.
Mm.
So, fuck him. Now, you get healing the human. In the beginning, yes, military still has prisons. However, I want his ass to go to fucking Supermax.
I was going to say, military does have prisons still. Like, obviously, Leavenworth is still alive and running and still functional. However, prisoners are able to transfer to different facilities. It's just whether or not that's allowed. What they might do is try to find a prison near his home of record if they don't put him in like a maximum security place.
Yeah. That would. Oh, man, send him Supermax. Send him Supermax. Sorry.
So Gray Cloud wants him to go to Supermax. I think possibly.
Yeah. Let's see here.
But
sorry, I'm just trying to keep up on the comments here. Basic training all the time. Actually, you'd be amazed at the privileges they get at the DB. Again, this is based on some inside knowledge that I've heard.
that you've heard.
Supposedly, they have cable television. They get to play outside. They have jobs in the prison.
Yeah. Well, fucking Pip just said send him to federal, rape him in the ass prison. I'm not sure where that one is,
what
Pip.
movie is that? shit. No, that's a movie.
Oh, it's a movie?
Yeah, no, it's God, what movie is it?
Way over my head just now.
Pip, what movie is that?
I don't know. Oh, you said Pip. So,
but yes. So again, there it is. So we'll wait on the 23rd. Hold on, let me see here. Oh, look at that. We have the
what?
So the sentencing starts on the 23rd. So if he is sentenced on the 23rd, oh man, that sucks. We'll figure it out. Okay. It's a Monday.
Oh, you want it to be on a Tuesday?
I wanted it to be on a Tuesday. You know what? I'll call Monday night.
Yeah, I was gonna say just fucking call in on Monday.
Ice, I'm gonna harass your show.
Fair warning.
Fair warning, Ice.
All right, so I kind of want to switch gears now.
Okay.
Because I think I let you rant long enough.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I want to talk about something that I kind of brought up on Friday, and that is where paternal rights start. Because, like, I wouldn't consider myself a feminist because modern age feminism is a joke and it's nothing near equality. It's all about man bashing and just it's not about equality anymore. Because if it were about equality, we would be talking about, again, paternal rights and where they fucking start. So I wouldn't say I'm a feminist. I'm a menist. Is that a thing? Or I'm just fucking for equality. I don't fucking care what you call it.
Sure.
Because I mean, if you think about it, all right. So let's say I hook up with some random, like with fucking Joe Snuffy, right? And he and I are both fucking hammered. And there is no, like, condom used. I'm not on birth control. Wouldn't you know it? Like, a couple weeks later, I piss on a stick and there's 2 pink lines. And I'm like, well, fuck my life, right? This was not planned at all. So, in our society, it's completely on me as far as, like, if I keep it or if I don't, right? Joe Snuffy gets no say at all. And I want to know why. Why is it like, and as far as like when it comes to paternal rights, when would they start? Would they start at moment of conception, which, for at least half the population, that's where they think, all right, that is now a person, right? Because they're pro-life, right? Like, so would it be moment of conception? Would it be moment of confirmation when you go to the OBGYN doc and you get an ultrasound and you're like, oh, hey, look, there's a fucking heartbeat, Or is it moment of birth?
Wow.
At which point do paternal rights start? Riddle me that, Batman.
Well, first of all, I'm not Batman, so I can't ask you that riddle. However,
because
it's an interesting point because a lot of the laws that are written for parental rights, with mostly, when you're talking about divorce and custody and things like that, a lot of the laws are written to favor the mother. Okay, and the question becomes, are those laws, to stick with your equality thing, are those laws so outdated that they actually need to be relooked?
And that's another thing when it comes to like custody laws. Why is it that the mother is automatically given custody, even if she is like an abuser or she's a drug addict or she's an alcoholic? Why is it?
Steps to help with that.
No,
okay?
but
there there are laws and there are steps to help with it. I understand where you're coming from.
Like the system is.
Let me breathe and let me finish my point. Because I know where this is coming from. This is coming from a couple weeks ago about said individuals that were in your hospital. So there are laws, and you would hope there are individuals who want to uphold those laws that look out for the best interest of the children. Now, would that be?
Are you there? Great Cloud.
Usually,
Okay.
now, again, not a lawyer, not interpreter of laws. However, the thought behind it, I do believe, was that it's easier for a mother to care and nurture for the child when they are very, very young and, brand new infants and things like that. Again, but times are changing. Bronco's got a good point. Every state is different when it comes to custody. However, most states and most laws favor the mother, bar none.
Yeah, no, like hands down. In California, I know for a fact because I'm from California, like the mother has to be convicted. Like she has to pretty much be shooting up in a courtroom for them not to give custody to the mother. Like that is the only way they will give custody to the dad. It doesn't matter if she's fucking working or not. It doesn't matter. Like she could be fucking unemployed and she will get sole custody.
I got that.
And it's wrong.
It can be very wrong. So it comes down to those individuals who are willing to fight and change the law. That's how things change. Right? You got to fight. Again, oh my God, you're gonna it makes now
what?
This
is a good topic. Hello, KJ. Hold on, KJ. Gray Cloud's ranting. KJ,
So
turn your mute on.
Okay.
All right, continue, Gray Cloud.
All right. It goes back to that whole situation about changing. If you don't like what your representatives are doing at any level, change them. Okay. If they're not supporting the laws that the people want, change them. I.e., let's talk about this one. The child support laws, the way the laws are written, okay? All that stuff goes through the representatives. All that stuff goes through the state houses and whatnot to make those changes. So it becomes upon the people, again, we are a nation of people who elect individuals to represent what we want, okay? If this is something we want changed, like everything else, all these movements that everybody screams about, the equality and all this other garbage, make it happen. It's got to be the individuals who want to make it change, okay? And if there's not enough guys out there, enough men, who want to see this change because they want to have just the same amount of rights, they want to fight for it or whatever, then it won't change. If they don't want it, it will not change. So until that mindset happens, where guys are actually rioting in the streets about it, it won't change.
And see, Max brings up a very good point, which I was about to bring up as well. In that if say me or say myself and Joe Snuffy talk it over and he wants me to get it aborted, right?
Okay.
And I'm not for that. I'm just like, no, I'm not aborting it. Like, we fucking did this on fucking this shit fucking happens, right? Like, I'm not gonna abort it. Should I then hold him responsible, or should I give him the option, I should say, as far as, okay, well, are you going to claim responsibility for this kid, or do you want to have nothing to do with it?
Okay, so I hate to jump in. Sorry. Fuck the mixer. It's fucking figured out what was wrong. I hate this fucking thing. So first of all, the actual what's set up state by state is unfortunately what's actually happening is if that situation went into effect, period and quote, the man does not get a say. He is entirely at the mercy of the courts. If the woman has the baby without his okay say so. Unfortunately, when it comes to paternal rights, and this is one of the few times I go hardcore men's rights, paternal rights exceed at the mother's discretion. The mother can conceive and choose whether or not to carry to birth. The father cannot have say-so because of woman's choice, which I fully support. I fully support a lady's right to choose if they're going to abort or keep the baby. But men do not have any rights or decision-making in that process. And what that's caused is, as I'm starting to hear Greg Cloud saying, is we're having a situation where...
You there?
Are being told, no, go fuck off, and the mothers are aborting, or fathers who do not want to have anything. This was entirely a mistake, unfortunate happenstance. Sorry, I'm having the kid. You're sucked into child support for the rest of your goddamn life. The shoulda, coulda, woulda is the dangerous part, because there's every time a law is introduced into Congress, oh my God, it explodes. That's fucking more dangerous than trying to introduce fucking common sense gun control, excluding the surefire stocks.
I mean, he's not wrong. Like, okay, so, I don't know, maybe because I'm not a trifling hoe, and I would never purposely knock myself up or like get myself knocked up from a guy to trap him with me. I don't know. I'm more classy than that, I think, because that's like some shady shit to do, and I fucking can't stand females who do that. Like, I fucking can't stand them, and I'm totally with fucking John. Like, yeah, no, push him down some stairs, trifling asshole. But
no, if you want to hear some fucked up shit, I'll talk a personal moment here, Minx. Fucking
Minx.
Sorry, yeah, I called you KJ. My bad. Personal moment here. I come to find out 4 years after my daughter was born that oh, by the way, the spermicide, the birth control is a lie. The spermicide I didn't apply. That was just some fucking Vaseline. Oh, and I poked a hole in your condom.
Wow. See?
The fuck?
Trifling ass bitch right there. Fuck that.
That's my ex-wife. That's my ex-wife.
See, like, I can't stand I cannot stand women like that. Cannot stand them at all. Like, if you're that, it's like, they're the ones that have, like, corrupted the system as far as going out of their way to get knocked up by someone, making the dude's life hell to where he's like, I can't fucking deal with you, I'm fucking out. And then she fucking takes him to court and gets him for every single fucking penny that she fucking can for child support.
Now let's take a step further, and let's look at the federal parental rights that are awarded to a father or mother. Have you heard about those, Minx?
No. I have not.
Okay, so I have these things fucking memorized because I am a father with a child of divorce. First parental right, the right to unimpeded phone calls. Holy fucking shit. Do you know how many fucking times, and this ain't my case because I record all my calls, but do you know every time that a mommy is recording their kids and plays that recording in court, it's a violation of their first parental right as provided by the feds. So many things. Unimpeded mail, right to all the medical, right to all school records, right to free from disparaging remarks. And guess what happens? The maximum is 30 days in jail, $5,000 fine. The reality is judges do not have mandatory sentencing on these issues, so they usually just say, shame on you, bad, slap on the hand. So mothers and fathers who habitually break these rules, slap on the hand, how dare you? When the other father or mother is trying to fucking be a good parent. It's horrifying, paternal and maternal rights. Absolutely fucking horrifying. And I don't give a shit about my own purse set, because fuck it, I don't care. Come visit me, we'll have a beer.
Okay.
So again, but on that flip side, like you were saying, if that father wants nothing to do with the kid ever, and they think it's a mistake, like everybody was saying or whatever, there are legal procedures they can take to nullify their parental rights.
Right,
but nullifying parental rights does not remove your right to provide.
Actually, it can be done.
It can be done, but how? But what is the process? That's the question. That's my question. What is the process per state?
It goes back to the state. The case I am aware of, it would have cost them approximately, what they tell me, $3,000 to $4,000 just in the legal fees alone, on what it would take to navigate not only the courts but the lawyer fees and things like that. And there was a lot of extra paperwork that was involved with it.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
And that's not even guaranteeing you're free from child support.
The case I'm aware of, it would have freed them of all responsibility from that aspect as well.
What state is that in?
That state was Wyoming.
Oh, fucking course, Wyoming.
Again, that's based on, an individual I know.
The same states that have the hardest abortion laws are the same states that have the easiest get out of jail free cards for parental rights, which I find hilarious because they're using that as an excuse to bring people in. So it doesn't surprise me that that's in Wyoming. It's just fucking horrible because you're as a father, I don't get a say on anything until that baby is out of the womb. Boom. Period and quote. And then the headaches begin for me. Do I raise them? Do I not raise them? Do I have to do I want to be a part of life? Do I not want to be a part of life? All these decisions that in the end, I don't really get a say until that baby's out there. And
but why shouldn't you have a say while baby is in utero?
Well, this is where the conflict begins, because personally, I believe in a woman's right to choose. Mm-hmm. But when you have something like
she couldn't have made this without you. Like,
exactly.
It is something that it takes two fucking people to make. Why is it then that these two people cannot come to a mutual agreement as far as what to do?
I believe that is Roe versus Wade, but I'm checking it right now. I believe it was Roe versus Wade that dictates.
So let me throw another monkey wrench in here on why something couldn't happen. So those that go get from a donation bank that get knocked up, what's to keep them from going and trying to get some kind of support from paternal or biological
It's in the contract. It's in the fucking contract. Yeah.
It is in the contract with the agency providing the sperm.
Yep.
However, same with
egg donation for like females.
But there have been some cases, and I have to go to my fucking law books now. But there have been cases where the courts, a woman has gotten fucking sperm or a fertilized egg, and guess what? From an anonymous donor, and guess what? They're able to find the anonymous donor, and you owe me child support, and the courts ruled it. And I know for a fact one of those was in my district here in central South U.S.
No.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Like, see, like that's just another shady, trifling ass hoe. I mean, that's what they fucking are. Like they're like these women who go and do this. Like they're finding ways to what's the right word? Extort men and live off of them instead of, I don't know, being a strong, independent woman who don't need no man and can open her own goddamn pickle jar. Like, I don't understand why women go after men the way that they do, and why more things are not put in place to protect men from trifling ass hoes who try and go after them for every goddamn penny that they're worth.
Because some of them want a free ride.
Well, I know, but there's websites out there for like how to be a sugar baby to a sugar daddy. Go there, you know. Like don't just go after someone.
This is the horrifying thing. In 1976, there was Roe versus Wade happened in 73, I believe, and in that 3-year period after Roe versus Wade, many states attempted to enact laws requiring spousal consent for abortion or raising a child. And then in 1976, a lovely case called Planned Parenthood versus Danforth came forward, which stated that anything involving spousal consent or parental or co-parenting consent was unconstitutional. So since 1976, fathers lost the right to have the choice of whether or not a child can be born.
But I don't understand, why is that unconstitutional considering he helped make the child?
Because what happened in Roe versus Wade was Roe versus Wade reinforced that it's woman's body. And then that was the beginning of the woman's body, woman's choice, which I have no problem with. I'm all for it. However, when you have someone that's involved and wanting to raise and offering to do these extenuating circumstances, and this is the thing that law has to look into, these extenuating circumstances. For example, I'm victims of circumstance here. Minx, I knock you up. Sorry, honey, but I knock you up. And
sorry, Mrs. KJ.
Bam, you don't want the kid, but I do. Mm-hmm. I offer to pay for all your medical bills. I offer to pay for everything, and just boom, right away, once baby pops out, we go to court. You hand over sole custody, and you say no.
But why would I?
You're in the right. I'm just saying, you're in the right.
I mean, but for me, like, my mentality is I completely agree with you. Like, if the man says, no, I want this, like, I'm going to step up, I'm going to be a man and be a father to this child that we just created, or like that is fucking currently incubating right now, like, please allow me to do that. To me, like, my mentality is okay, like, if this is what you really want, like, because I don't want it. But if you want it, I'll fucking give it to you, But again, my mentality. So I don't understand why, especially because there are so many men out there who want to be dads and who are fucking phenomenal fathers, right? And who would do anything for their fucking offspring. And I think it's almost cruel that it's solely a woman's choice on whether or not this being is brought into the world or not. And how he gets no say at all. Doesn't matter how much he pleads with her and like says, no, like, I want to take care of it. Like, I will take it off your hands. Give it to me. And she can just be like, no, fuck off. And get it suctioned out of her.
And now we're coming to the third part, the third case, which has made pregnancy rights so fucking insane. I know, I'm being a fucking legal beagle.
No, it's not you. It's fucking Healing. He is like, is Minx an honorable man in a woman's skin?
Kinky. Planned Parenthood versus Casey. Oh, fuck. This pretty much made it to where medical emergency makes complete sense. Parental consent. Minors had to get the informed consent of at least one parent or guardian prior to an abortion. Makes sense. Spousal notice. Woman seeking an abortion had to sign a statement stating she had notified her husband prior to undergoing the procedure unless certain exceptions applied. And they found that unconstitutional.
But why?
The reasoning for it is because the general opinion of the Supreme Court at the time, which in 92, I believe Scalia was on. I think he dissented. No. But, yeah, Scalia did dissent. There he is. But the reason that they kept it was two, viability of the fetus and the undue burden standard. And the problem with viability of the fetus, we talked about a couple weeks ago. I remember you talking about that, whereas 22 or 23 weeks. I talked about it on my show 2 weeks ago, 2 Thursdays ago. Go and check it out. Jose's Taco Truck. I'll have it up tomorrow. But I talked where the viability of the fetus after the first trimester, at the 20-week mark, it's okay. The fetus's viability is at significantly higher, so it could survive outside the womb, and that you couldn't. Late-term abortions were kind of frowned upon. The undue burden standard, how it ties into that, is the plurality of the trimester framework was kind of skewed and not appropriate. So the undue burden had the purpose or effect of placing a substantial obstacle in the path of a woman seeking an abortion of a non-viable fetus. Undue burden is what caused by the winning side in the Supreme Court spousal notice, informed consent, parental consent, and medical emergency to be wiped off, so that no matter what was happening, a woman could, without telling anyone, get an abortion. Period. Quote. And that's where the horror begins in the early 90s, a year after I was born, where you start hearing about we miscarried, and then 10 years later, I got an abortion. Divorce.
Right.
That's where that horror story started popping up more and more. You saw that in the early 2000s, in the mid-2000s as well. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm talking a mile a minute. Sorry, Minx.
No, you're good. No, I mean,
talking law.
No, this is good because, I honestly, I don't understand why men don't get more rights when it comes to children and unborn children. I don't understand it.
The horrific thing is that men are not going to get rights until we can get. I know a lot of my friends. I'm going to talk personally here. A lot of my friends that are divorced, a lot of my guy friends have custody, and that's because they were able to prove that in the best interest of the child, which is horrible wording, they had the best interest of the child at heart. They were in a good school zone. They lived in a house. Yeah, they owned the house.
Because bitches be trifling ass hoes, and they're going after fucking money, and then that's all they fucking do is live off of child support. Even though child support is to go to the child, right?
Actually,
but then you have all these hoes out here getting their fucking hair did and their nails done with their child support money.
So you want to hear a horrible thing?
What?
So,
is this going to make me angry?
Personal experience. I pay a sum greater than $300 but less than $1,000 in child support.
For one kid.
For one kid. I'm not going to specify the amount. I pay it through a cashier's check or direct transfer from bank account. And once it enters my ex-wife's hands, period end quote, it does not matter. It does not matter what she does with that money, because there's no way for the courts to separate those funds from the funds actually in her account. Now, what the states have done, most states, Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, New York, California, Oregon, Washington, I'm forgetting 4 more, they have already implemented in their Department of Children and Families a child support card, for lack of a better term. It's like an EBT SNAP card.
Yeah.
But it's for child support payments. But a lot of dads are terrified of Department of Children and Families, because if you're late one time to DCF, bye-bye. Bye-bye. If you're late by a day, you can expect going to court the following month. So it's the catch-22 of if you go through DCF and you can guarantee you're always going to get your payment out on the 1st, 5th, 10th, 15th, whatever, and then she'll get that card where she can only spend it on approved items at approved stores, but the minute you're a day late, you are going to court a month later, or pay it to them directly to where you had that leeway of something happening, and the judge doesn't care as long as she got paid, but you can't guarantee what the funds are going for. A lot of guys go with Section B of, they get paid on the 1st, and if child support's due on the 1st, they'd rather say, hey, listen, I get paid on the 1st. Can I just get it handed to you on the 2nd? Oh, yeah, not a problem. Where if that was through DCF, you're going to court, and then you're getting hit with $5,000 and or 30 days in jail for evasion of child support.
And see, like, the thing is that, a lot of guys are paying child support, right? And then they're not getting to see their kid.
Me.
So, but that brings up a whole nother thing, and it's break time. So,
we'll talk about that Thursday on Jose's Taco Truck. We're going to do a whole divorce episode. Not this Thursday, though. I already posted my question on that.
Right. But, all right, you guys, we shall be back here soon in a couple minutes with our guest, Jonathon Jackson. So, yeah, see you guys soon.
Take this photograph, tell me what it is you see when you look at me. Deep into the photography, I don't really need your sympathy, just tell me your thoughts. Have I got what they got, and is it a plot done for naught? Am I not like you because I do what I do? Who knew that I could lose a few of you cause I bleed blue? But it's true, I know cause I see it every day as I work and I sleep the day away. Like you I have pain and like you I have fear. Can I pay all of the bills and still make it through the year? Will I make it home alive? Should I pray to the sky every day and every night? Will I hold you by my side? But in the public eye, I don't even have a heart. A robot of the system moving only when I'm told to start. Rip apart my art, I'm strong like a flower blooming. You got it all wrong, I know like I'm breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
Call me a vet like a soldier. Green beret, 21 gun salute, don't wanna see today. In the constant war zone, in the home of the brave, where they hate the police until they saving the day. I got kids like you, a mortgage like you, so blue lives matter, and so does yours too. All this separation and divide, open your eyes. If you cut us all open, we the same inside. The only difference is I run to the gunfight. Your peace when it's chaos, when the people don't act right. But I'm under scrutiny for trying to protect me. You pull a pistol and I'm shooting for trying to contest me. I got a quick second to make a deadly decision. The media portray me like a kid for a living, like I'm cold with no heart, a brain with no thoughts, a body with no feeling, a life with no cause.
Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. I'm damned if I do, and damned if I don't. It's like every single time I say what's on my mind, they go for my throat, they spew evil words. If you are absurd, always grinding, grinning, and killing my soul with these verbs. Hold me down, like I can't gasp for air. I'm closed inside of a box, like I'm inside Fort Knox. Every time that I'm there, I don't know why they think that I'm different from you. All that's true is I'm a like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
everybody. We are back for Tied Up Tuesday Part 2. And I'm joined by Jonathon Jackson, as you guys can see right there. And you are with Military Working Dog Team Support Association. Now, you're also an Army veteran. What did you do in the Army?
I was a military working dog handler. That's how I got in with these guys.
So tell us about it. Tell us all about freaking handling these fucking dogs. Because I know from experience, some of them, like I was not a handler, but I was friends with a bunch of them. And they may have snuck me into the kennels more, like a couple of times. And by a couple is like 10. And like some of them were just sweethearts. right? But then you've got your asshole dogs who my friends are like, don't even go near that cage because they'll like try to get you. They will kill you. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty much one extreme to the other. You got the ass eaters and the grass eaters.
Is that how you guys determine?
Most of the time.
So, like, I don't know, just tell us a bit about what it's like being a canine handler. Like, I don't know, just give us your experience being one.
I had a great time with it. It's the job that I kind of wanted, so I just kept going after it until somebody finally said, all right, we got to shut this guy up. So gave me a shot. I went down to school at Lackland Air Force Base, which was incredibly nice compared to the places that you go in the Army. It was like you go in the DFAC there and you're like, holy crap, what is this? It was just culture shock a little bit, but spent about 6 months down there. I was part of a specialized search dog program. They called them SSDs. They did detection only. We didn't have the bite dogs and whatnot. Mm-hmm. We just looked for bombs. So did that, trained my dog, certified my dog, and went to Fort Hood. Was there not even, I think, like 3-4 months, certified and deployed. Spent a year in Afghanistan under CJ Sodif and running around the desert, riding four-wheelers, growing beards, and shooting stuff. It's great.
That's awesome. So what is one of your like most memorable experiences working with these dogs?
Oh man, well, my dog actually saved my life that I know of 2 separate occasions, which you can't really. I guess it doesn't get any more memorable than that. The pucker factor, the oh shit moment, the oh my god, we almost died. One of them, we were in a really nasty area and had been going house to house, been fighting for a few days, and seemed like one tick after another. Rolled in this house. There was a locked door, and so we shot the lock off. I had the dog search in. He got to the doorway. I shot the lock off, pushed the door open. He wouldn't get out of the way. One of the little Afghan army guys that was rolling with us reached up to try to flip a light switch because that should have been my first clue. There, not a lot of light switches on the mud huts.
Yeah.
He went to go touch that, and then I realized what was happening, so I was able to stop him, grab his wrist, and tell him just, back up. The dog wouldn't get out of the doorway. There were mortars in the back of the door.
Oh.
There were 9-volt battery and a light switch. I mean, if he'd have flipped it, kaboom, we'd have been gone. So that was the first time. Second time was we went in 2 different helicopters. There was a team I was with and a team another dog handler was with. He had one of the dual purpose dogs that would bite and to do detection. Mm-hmm. We touched down, opposite ends of a city. We rolled up our guy, got them out, and pushed to their location to exfil. When we got close, my dog Toby sat and just stopped everything he was doing. So I, of course, stopped everybody behind me and got my light out and was trying to figure out what was going on. There was an anti-personnel mine in this little narrow alleyway, walking right up to the doorway where the team had pushed through before. Boot prints all around it. Thankfully, nobody stepped on it. So we got it out and took care of it. I went in and told the other handler what had happened, and his dog was extremely aggressive and was all kind of amped up to bite somebody. So he wasn't really using his nose to search for explosives at that point. He was kind of in the wrong mindset, I guess is the best way to put it.
That makes sense. He was just like, let me kill something and not let me do my first job.
Yeah, well, laser, people roll around with, night vision and they got their little IR lasers and stuff, and lights coming out for different reasons, things jangling, keys, or pockets full of junk, whatever. The dog was all amped up. He knew what was going down.
Yeah.
He was rolling to the house. He was going to try to go in and eat somebody, and he just they walked right by it. Some of them right over it. So, he stopped, my dog stopped us, and I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, dang. That's not supposed to be there. So it's kind of, those are big memorable moments, when that kind of stuff happens. You're just, you make sure you give him an extra belly rub and whatever the hell he wants to eat afterward,
Right. Here's your favorite toy.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
here's
no kibble that night. You're like going in the defect, like, I need an extra steak, please. Take it out there.
Right, exactly. I need something more for my dog, like all the bacon. Oh, wait, no, we're deployed, so all the turkey bacon. Give it all.
We pushed back to Bagram for a little short time there, and this was after most all that stuff had happened.
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting on a flight, and I went to the Burger King that was there, like at the little shopping center area. Got a hamburger and had sat down on a little table or something. Had him with me.
Mm-hmm.
I was in. We didn't wear name tapes a lot of times and stuff, and rank and whatnot because of who we got to roll with. We had beards, we rolled our sleeves, so we had it a lot easier and nicer than some folks. But we were sitting there at a table, and this civilian lady come walking by, and I would take a bite, and he would get a bite, and I would take a bite, and he would get a bite, and she's like, "That's disgusting. Do you know where that dog's mouth has been?"
Well, yes, like, actually, I do.
I said, "It's yours. I'm concerned about," and just went right on, let him finish eating. I was just like,
That's awesome. Now, were you able to keep that dog with you your entire career in the Army? Or
I was, because of the nature of those dogs. The specialized search dogs work off leash at distance, so we could cover a lot more ground in a shorter amount of time than a typical patrol dog that's attached to a leash.
Okay.
So we could do a roadway in half the time of a traditional dog team, because they're working 6 to 12 feet at a time, depending on their leash, length or whatever. And I would stand basically still and send him out. I could tell him to run straight down the road, cross over the other side and run straight back to me, him searching the whole time. We could do open areas. I could quarter him across, kind of zigzag pattern, bracket him back and forth, and just kind of keep track of where he was, and if he missed anything, call him back to it using hand and arm signals and vocal commands. So that was really a speed issue for us. We could do a lot more in a shorter amount of time, get in and get out. And so that was that, because it takes a great deal of rapport with a dog. It takes a great deal of training to get your dog to do those things and listen to you when there's sheep and soccer balls and cows and at times bullets and everything else whizzing by and flying around and explosions going off. You got your dog off leash. It can throw them into a crazy panic, fight or flight type mode, and you have to be able to call that dog, get their attention, and get them back to you as quickly as possible. So they let us, in the Specialized Search Dog program, we actually were assigned that dog, sort of, I guess, like a piece of TA-50, but we PCS'd with the dog. So I got him and stayed with him for about 4 years.
Well, very nice. So we have a question in our Mixer chat. So were you basically an MP with a special ID, like I'm reading verbatim, like a paratrooper? And then also, does the Army have a specific MOS just for dog handlers?
At the time, we didn't have a special MOS for dog handlers. Since I got out, they have made it its own MOS. It's a 31 kilo, I believe, is the designator. I was a 31 Bravo, which was an MP. I went in as a military police, spent a year in Korea, and then basically stayed up every night on the phone calling the program manager down at Lackland, who was in charge of that, till he gave me a slot in a class. So I went TDY en route to Fort Hood. The identifier we had, there really wasn't one. It was kind of, as far as like a credential or anything, we were given an extra, almost like skill identifier. We were a 31 Bravo, Echo 8 Bravo, and that was it. We didn't wear any kind of special insignias or anything. Most of the time, I worked regular military police functions with that particular dog. we would get in a patrol vehicle and ride shift at Fort Hood, responding to open buildings, unsecure buildings, burglaries, assaults, everything that a regular MP would. I just had the dog, which was really cool because, he didn't bite anybody and he was pretty chill. So most of the time I would just open the partition between the driver and the back and let him either get up in the front seat and chill, and we'd eat beef jerky or, hang out and kind of ride around post. It's really funny to pull up to a red light with him sitting like a person in the passenger seat, looking out the window at some other person, some defender or something driving, and she's flipping out, like, why in the heck is that dog in that police car,
Right.
those kind of things. Those are always great. But no, I didn't have any kind of credential or anything like that, or wear a badge or any kind of special beret or anything. Nothing like that.
Okay. So how did you get associated with MWDTSA?
Well, I had a friend at the kennels who told me when I got downrange to email this lady, and she was part of a group that would send care packages and support for the dog teams, and he knew what I was in for. He'd done several canine deployments before with special operations, and he said, you're going to be at times in some pretty austere conditions, and you're not going to have access to the supplies you need for the dog. I mean, we didn't have places to go get extra tennis balls or Kongs or whatever your dog used for reward. We didn't have, the way to go get dog treats or extra leashes or harnesses or whatever. So he put me in touch with her. I emailed her when I got there. I felt kind of awkward because, felt like I didn't want to be begging for stuff. I'm kind of like, whatever. But if it's something I may need at some point, I'll reach out and make contact at least. And when I did, she put me on a mailing list. I got care packages every quarter, emails, letters, cards, all kind of stuff. She sent things like waterless shampoo for the dog. Thing I didn't think to take with me when I was going, and certainly not things that I could have packed enough of to last me for the whole year. So things like wet wipes for the dog, because we were taking baby wipe showers out there a lot of times. She'd send special stuff that was eye friendly for the dog, so you could wipe the crust out of the dog's eyes and things. I mean, just little things like that I didn't really think about taking or think that I would need. They supply those things, and in addition, they would always put stuff in there for us. Some extra lickies and chewies or some kind of deck of cards, a DVD. Somebody sent me Marley and Me. I don't know why they felt that was the best movie to send a deployed dog handler.
Oh my God.
But I certainly watched it and certainly regretted it.
Right? Oh my God.
If you don't cry at Marley and Me, you're dead inside and have no soul.
Yeah, I agree.
So, here I am sitting in, Afghanistan with my dog,
Right.
who's with a big bad military working dog team out here finding bombs and getting in gunfights, and I'm crying like a little whiny schoolgirl watching Marley and Me, hugging my dog, going, "Don't you ever leave me, don't you ever leave me."
Right, don't you die on me. Ever. Oh my God. Right? No, but seriously, of all movies.
I mean, I had never seen it, and it came, and I'm like, what's this? And my dog, for the record, was a black lab, which made it even worse.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was a rough afternoon. I kind of just dropped that one in the donation bin, for anybody that wanted one. Just it was like after I was pitching it in the community pile, I'm like,
Right, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So, are you still associated with MWDTSA, what do you do for them?
It kind of was one of those things. The lady who started it, she kind of got in touch with me. Or I got in touch with her. She supported me while I was deployed. I came back and found out that she was making a tour of different military bases that she had supported handlers from at different times, and to kind of introduce herself and meet people at the kennels. Get the word out about the organization. I had just had the laser eye surgery the day before, so I couldn't drive. I was in these huge blue blocker glasses. With my girlfriend at the time, I made her drive me over there to the kennels so that I could meet her, and we kind of remained friends from then on. She's come up here to where I live now, and we've, for different things, we've had dinner together. My kids have met her. My wife, and was actually a military working dog handler. She supported her separately. So when we got married, we kind of do stuff together. We've gone and helped them pack care package boxes and get up the supplies and put them in the different boxes to send off. It's really neat because there's guys I still know that still do the job that are still deploying with dogs. So I've actually got to pack care packages to send to buddies that I served with and that I was in kennels with and trained with and things like that. Through this organization. So it's absolutely a fantastic organization. They don't get near the credit that they're due. The lady that's in charge of it now, Nikki, I think you had her just earlier. She is absolutely fantastic. I met her, this was a couple of years ago, she was doing a toy drive in Virginia, not far from where I live, for like Veterans Day weekend at a library of all things. They were doing story time with the kids, and she kind of found us through the lady that started the foundation named Dixie. We went up there, my wife and I went up there and spent the weekend in Virginia and did the story time with the kids, talked a little bit, met a lot of fantastic people. Nikki was just over and above, far beyond accommodating and helpful, and just kind and generous with her time and resources. And she's done a lot for this organization, and she's kind of running it now. Dixie stepped down and, just kind of let Nikki take it from there. And I can't say enough wonderful things about either one of those ladies. They really have a heart for the soldiers that are deployed and for the dogs that are deployed. They make it a point to friend them on Facebook, to check in on them periodically. Hey, how's it going? They're always, birthdays, anniversaries. That they're always there, even if you're not deployed anymore. They keep up with you. It's not just, it's a really a labor of love for them. And like I said, I can't say enough nice about them.
Yeah. Great Cloud. I've been hogging this. Do you have any questions?
So I'm on the site right now, and it looks like you guys are looking. You're starting to round up care packages for the second quarter of this year.
Yep.
What are some of the items you guys are trying to round up? Is there anything specific for this quarter you want to get?
To be honest with you, most of the things that they try to do a theme package for everything that goes through there. Every quarter has its own theme. The one here, I guess, a couple quarters ago that I packed up was a hockey theme. They put in some like hockey jerseys or t-shirts and pucks and all kind of stuff. I'm really not. I've been kind of out of the loop here as of lately. I'm not sure what the theme for this one is, but most of that stays on the website, and they're really good about updating it. They do wish lists for various items. They do sponsored items that they're looking for specifically. They get large corporate sponsors to donate items in bulk. If you're interested in getting linked up with them and donating or trying to do something like that, one of the easiest ways to do it is through actually the Amazon Smile. And I don't know if you guys know much about that, but if you go to Amazon.com Smile or something like that, it'll actually give you the option to pick a charity, and then Amazon donates money every time you make a purchase through Amazon to that charity of your choice. So you can set it to when you go into your Amazon, actually they'll send so much per every transaction to MWDTSA. I'll know that they always are in need of donations of monetary sums, simply because they have to ship all of these boxes. I think when we did it, we packed up a couple hundred boxes and shipped them all over the world to various places where dog teams are stationed and don't have access to some of this stuff. And that's that's an expensive feat in and of itself, even using the USPS flat rate. They get really good support from their local postal employees. They actually sent a huge freight truck type thing out to the house the day we packed all the boxes, because this happens in garages. Where they accumulate supplies and put them in garages and do it assembly line style. Everybody grabs a box, grabs one out of each box as they go around, they get done, tape it up, and then there's a group of people that do the addresses and the labels for the boxes, and the post office picks them up. So there's the website has plenty of information as how to get involved, how to donate, and what kind of supplies we need, but never be afraid to give a monetary donation, because I know it sounds, I guess, kind of, it's like, well, just send money, but the shipping on those things is really not anything to laugh at. And the Amazon Smile is an easy way, because most everybody buys stuff off Amazon anyway. I'm on there 3 or 4 times a week, so. Lightning deals of the day. My wife, sometimes I have to tell her, look, just chill. We don't need another 52, whatever it is you're looking at. I don't care that they're only 10 cents. So you can get on the Amazon Prime or the Amazon Smile and sign up that way. And they donate money every transaction to MWDTSA to help pay for things like shipping those boxes and whatnot.
Awesome. no, that's fine. I saw that it was Q2, and I clicked on the link. It took me right to Amazon, which was really awesome. So I just wanted to remind our nation to get on their website and click on that link and do what you can to help these guys out. I mean, it's a great mission that they have. What you guys are doing, you can't speak enough of.
I appreciate that, and the feeling, I know for Nikki and a lot of the volunteers, because it's all a volunteer basis that does this stuff. They donate their own time and their gas and their resources to do this stuff. They're not taking money and funding and things like that. They're doing this as truly just a labor of love, and they look at the guys and girls in uniform as being, just they're in awe. They really are. When they get to meet these handlers that they've supported, what struck me, they're almost like celebrity status to these guys and girls. I mean, they show up and they're just like, oh my gosh, you're real and your dog is real, and can I just watch you do something? Can you just show me what your dog can do? I mean, and they're genuinely just in awe of, at the time when, first time I met him, I'm thinking, this is a Tuesday, I'm walking around half blind. I'm having somebody have to whisper in my ear where my dog is, because I just, I had that surgery. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I know I've got a dog out here. I hear him, but they were in just awe of what we do. And most people in uniform, you don't really think about your job as being anything special. You don't really think about what you do as being anything extraordinary. You're just doing what you're doing, and you don't really think about it. It's old hat to us in that moment. And these folks that volunteer, they have an appreciation like none other. One of the coolest things about this organization is that there are handlers from all different generations. There are a couple of guys who I've had the pleasure of meeting through this organization, who are volunteers as well, who were like Vietnam veteran dog handlers, tunnel dogs, sentry dogs. And they would send these dogs into tunnels to literally grab these little dirt squirrels that were like hiding down there in the ditch and drag them out in Vietnam. I mean, that stuff is crazy to me. And a lot of those guys, they had to leave their dogs over there. They were like excess equipment. They didn't get to bring their dogs home necessarily, all of them. A lot of them had to just leave them out there in the jungle, knowing that, that dog had done whatever it had done, saved them, been with them, been their emotional support, their best friend, battle buddy, sounding block, cuddle buddy, whatever.
Right, yeah.
And they had to just leave them there and get on a helicopter and fly out, knowing that they'd never see that animal again, knowing that to us as a handler, that dog's not an animal. It's not a piece of equipment. The Army views it as equipment, but to us, I mean, it is. It's your best friend, your battle buddy. And, you don't get to bring the dog home and then go hang out and get a few drinks or go to dinner and sit and reminisce and go play Call of Duty and watch the Super Bowl, with your dog like you do the guys you were deployed with or the girls you were deployed with. It's they go home and they stay in a kennel. They're in a big concrete chain link cell, basically. I made it a point when I got home, I couldn't stand it. I spent every opportunity I had getting him out and taking him some. If we just went and sat in the backfield somewhere on post in a training area, we would. I couldn't stand for him to be in that position. I had withdrawals being away from him. And when he passed away, I mean, that was probably one of the absolute worst days of my life.
Oh, I was just about to ask, what what's your dog's name?
Toby.
Oh, that's such a cute dog name too. I was about to ask you.
I'm a good parent, pet owner.
Oh.
I have
Toby. Oh, he's so cute. Here, hold on. We'll make it bigger. Oh, it's blank screen. Hold it up again. Oh, he's so handsome.
I like to think so, but he's kind of like it's kind of almost like a child, but not, because I don't rely on my children for emotional support or physically to protect me from danger, things like that. I mean, it is really, it's hard to describe that relationship that you have with a dog like that. It's not a pet. He's a person in his own way. I've had conversations with Toby, and I swear he understood, and he at times responded, if nothing more than just with a look. I knew what he was thinking, and you develop a bond that most people will never understand, and you probably think you're a little off in the head if you try to explain. Right. October 15th of 2011, I was on ETS leave, and I was here in Knoxville, Tennessee, and my wife, I was dating her then, she called me from Fort Hood. She was still there, and said that he had collapsed in the field, and another handler was trying to see if he could work with him to develop a bond. And it was kind of one of those situations, if he was unable to do so, I had the paperwork filled out and ready to go to adopt Toby and bring him home, try to get him discharged. And so this guy was had him in a field, was working him, and he just fell over. Well, this handler, great, fantastic guy, actually sprinted to where he was, picked him up in his arms, ran into a truck, and drove him lights and sirens to the vet. And they put several hours of surgery. He just had hemorrhaged internally. They don't really know what caused it. He lost a lot of blood. The Army only allotted so much blood to be given to the dog to try to stabilize him, and they were not able to do so in that amount of blood. The veterinarian, who was a lieutenant at that vet clinic, pulled out her personal credit card and told the guy, if this dog runs out of blood because you refuse to bring it, then we're going to have a lot of problems. I mean, she went over and above and paid for it out of her pocket to try to save his life. The vet staff there, they were amazing. It was touch and go. They got it stopped. They got him stabilized, but they weren't sure if he was going to make it through the night. That was on the 14th. October 15th, I got up that morning and got a phone call. I didn't really sleep very well. I was trying to figure out how I was going to get home to Texas. I was trying to actually leave with my family, my mom and dad's house, and get back down there to him. And I was able to talk to him on the phone. Of course, with a dog, it doesn't really do a whole lot, but I was able to kind of, talk to him, chat with him like that, just tell him, that I was there and that I knew what was going on. He didn't make it through the night. He passed early that morning on the 15th. So this past Sunday was 6 years ago.
I'm so sorry. Oh my God. I'm crying. I
didn't mean to upset you. I mean, it's
no. I understand as far as that bond you have with a dog, and I'm just thinking cause my dog and I we're not I've never fucking deployed with him. I just I've just adopted him, but he's like a child. He's my fucking kid, so
yeah.
And he's older, and I know eventually one of these days he coming fast approaching, I'm gonna have to be sorry, buddy.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's a rough time of year for me. I still don't really do well. The 15th is pretty much just a bad day every year. But I miss him. There's not a day goes by I don't think about him. My daughters, I've got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old little girl and a 13-year-old son. They know him. And my son actually had got the chance to meet him, but my little girls, they wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for him.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be here because I wouldn't be here. And so I make it a point to tell them about him and what he did for me. And we talk about that, and especially the month of October is kind of like my Toby time. And we go through it. We talk about it. I show pictures, and they know him. They know who he is. They see any black lab anywhere, and they start yelling, "It's Toby! It's Toby!" So, so they know, and I'm forever grateful for what he did for me. I mean, it's incredible that an animal, by everybody else's standards, could do so much for one person.
Yeah.
Just as a comfort, even when we weren't deployed, divorces, breakups, rough days. I mean, he was there for every bit of it. There's been more times than I can count. I just, would wake up in the middle of the night and not be able to sleep, not feel great, or, just feel off and not be okay until I got in my car and drove on the post and drove over to where he was and went in his kennel and just kind of laid down on the floor in the kennels with him, concrete floor. I just lay there and he'd come over and lay with me and we just chill. We worked a UN mission with the Secret Service in the General Assembly in New York City, so they flew us to New York. We stayed in Manhattan. We ate pizza from like Ray's delivery, whatever, in the bed in New York, looking out the window, watching crappy war movies, like nitpicking the reality of the circumstance. Like, grenades don't do that. That.
Right. You know this, right, Toby? Yeah. Oh, exactly, Toby.
I mean, that whole movie that Megan Levy movie came out. I was so pissed because I couldn't take him with me to the theater to watch this movie and sit there and go, "That's not freaking real. That's not how that goes."
Just about to ask you about
we
that.
both know that's bull. So it's
yeah, I'm so sorry. So, Jonathan, KJ's joined us. So KJ's another host. KJ, do you have any questions? I'm so sorry. Like, as I continue to cry.
It's fine. I was just about to ask you about that movie, Megan Levy, and your thoughts about that.
I honestly never saw it, bro. I was really just kind of riffing on the fact that, I would have probably taken him to see it just so he could poke fun at the inaccuracies. But no, I actually haven't seen it. I did see the movie Max when it came out. The one, that was kind of the same situation, the same stuff that we did. It was that movie about the Marine dog, and the Marine died, and they gave it to the kid brother or something. He was in a specialized search dog, so that was the same kind of dog as what Toby was, and so they had the same kind of training, same kind of mission. And I did see that one. That was it was all right. I was expecting I don't know. I went expecting like a movie about a specialized search dog, and I wound up watching like 2 hours of a kid on a bicycle with a dog that would run laps in a woods. So I was like, this isn't what I thought it was.
So now since you are a previous handler, have you ever adopted like retired dogs?
No, honestly, I haven't really had a dog that was mine since then. My wife's had, dogs. We have a cat now. I'm not a cat person, but we have a cat. We don't currently have a dog. I was actually just telling my wife the other day that I think it's time. I want to try again and try to bond with one, but we've I guess kind of almost like fostered a couple at different times. Not working dogs, but just regular dogs. And I just can't attach. I can't bond. It's weird. I just don't have it with them. So I've thought about trying to get an old retired working dog, but the reality of that is that where we live right now, there's not really any nearby us, and it's the transportation costs, the fee, just to get a dog to adopt it. It's not really like a cheap thing to do. You have to go and kind of interview, you have to apply, they have to select your application, then you have to go meet with somebody and they introduce you to the dog. There's like a meet and greet phase, and you have to stay nearby the kennels in case it doesn't work out for so many days. So you kind of have to take a vacation to go pick up a dog and then fly back or travel back. And if the dog's overseas, Germany or Italy or Korea or something like that, and you have to get the dog shipped back to the States so that you can do those things. So no, I haven't really given that a lot of thought. Another thing is, when they adopt those dogs out, they're usually older.
Yeah.
And I would really hate for the first real dog I bond with after my dog like that to then, pass on me, 2 years into it. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of just one of those things. I'm like, maybe that's just not right now. Later in life, when I'm old, I'll get an old dog. Who knows? We'll flip a coin. I might die before he does. But as right now, I'd kind of rather not take on one that I know I'm going to be burying again. Actually, Toby was cremated. He's in a little rosewood box and he's got a little gold plaque on the top of it. I keep him. So,
I was actually about to ask that, like, if they gave you Toby's collar, like, afterwards, or
I've got all of his stuff, all of his collars, his harness that I had his name stitched on when we were deployed, all of his gear that was ours, I have, and I have his ashes. And the vet clinic that was there at Fort Hood did a really great job. They actually took paw prints from him and had them laminated. I've been working with a tattoo artist here locally. He's trying to get the the designer, I'm just going to get his paw. Like you get your kids' footprints and whatnot tattooed. I'm going to get my last daughter's footprints and then his paw tattooed. So I'll have all my kids then.
Right? You have to. Freaking KJ, do you have any more questions for Jonathan?
Nah, man, I'm just going through and I'm just reading back through all the kennel talks and it's like, oh hey, let me catch up on these. Oh hey, I'll just start here and oh man, I'm hooked.
There's actually
I'm really impressed by it.
I don't know how long, it was probably years ago, but they did a kennel talk and they had a bunch of photographs of me and Toby deployed on there and a write-up about some of the stuff that he was involved in and that we did. The lady who was in charge of MWDTSA nominated us for the American Kennel Club Association's Heroic Working Dog of the Year in 2011. As the year he passed. So after he passed, I got a phone call about a month later, and we placed, I think, third with the votes or whatever. So they sent me a medal, like a little bronze medal or whatever. It has his name engraved on the back of it and a certificate. And that was a real big honor because, I mean, it wasn't anything that I was pushing for, campaigning for, asking for. It was just something that she nominated us for it. And when people read the stories and things like that about what he did, and that's, not just military, but it was police dogs and rescue dogs and all kind of stuff. I mean, they felt that, he deserved that kind of honor. I mean, that was mind blowing to me.
I actually just found
cool
the pictures of it
in the kennel talk.
Yeah, I just clicked on a random one looking for it, and bam, the one you were talking about is the one I picked. I was like, oh man, so I'm actually gonna, if that's cool with you, if I can post that in the chat, if that'd be okay, so that they can see.
That's fine.
Cool. Pretty sure that's the exact one you were talking about, the May 2011.
Yep, that's about right.
Yep. I think that's Governor Neal.
Oh yeah. BDU ball cap and some gnarly sunglasses, and my beard was like 3 times as long. So.
That's awesome.
You got that awesome operator beard. I love it.
Yeah, well, it was the best part of my deployment was they pretty much when I got off the plane, this dude rolls up in a pair of like cut off ACU type shorts and a t-shirt. He walks up to me, rips my rank off, rips my name tape off, told me to unblouse my boots, roll my damn sleeves, and stop shaving, lose my razor. I was just like, oh, this is the greatest place in the world. So yeah, I had a big old gnarly beard, and I had we wore t-shirts a lot of times, and I had like a G.I. Joe t-shirt that I had some old BDU sleeves sewed on it and across the back. So I mean, we got to roll out and stuff like that. It was awesome. We had one dude one time tried to roll out in like a Magnum PI Hawaiian type shirt, and that got nixed real quick. They were like, some higher up got wind of that and was like, oh hell no. So
you can just hear that.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Cue the drum roll.
We had this one guy. He had on a pair of like old BDUs. They were old, and he was talking about like he'd had them for I don't know, God, however many years. And he was jumping out of the bed of a truck, and we were going on we were going to be out there for like 4 or 5 days, and he ripped the seat of his pants completely out. And so he walked around bare-assed for the next 4 days, no drawers on. He, for whatever reason, did not rock some underwear. And so, like, he literally just walked around free-balling and dangling and bare-assed for the next 4 days. Nobody wanted to stack up behind him for any reason,
Right, you can't make me.
Yeah, it's just like no, sorry, I'm not gonna do that. Somebody else go over there. I'm not gonna go over there.
Right, you're like, not even the dog's gonna get back there. Like, no.
Exactly.
You don't need to clear this building. It's fine. I'm sure. I don't hear anything. We're good.
Right. Oh my goodness. Well, Jonathan, thank you so much for coming on the show and talking to us, especially about Toby. Like, I tried really hard not to just break down and like sob. Like, I think I did pretty good.
I didn't mean to upset you.
No, it's just because like I said, I get what you mean by like he was more than just a dog to you.
Absolutely.
I completely understand that and it was a great story. It really was.
There's my heart up.
I appreciate you guys having me on, and thanks for giving me an opportunity to talk about MWDTSA and to share Toby and his stories with you guys. I mean, it's important to me. It's kind of how I honor him and how I keep him going is through stuff like this.
Yeah. And so just one more time for everyone over in Mixer and Facebook Live and YouTube and like, what is it, TuneIn app and our own personal app, where can we go to help fund these care packages? Where can we go to help donate money to them and to make sure that these packages continue to reach handlers and dogs?
If you go to MWDTSA, so it's MWD, like Military Working Dog, Team Support Association, TSA, all one, just abbreviate it down, .org. They have the links for Amazon Smile, which, like I said, will donate money every time you purchase through Amazon Smile. If you just want, you can bookmark your browser when you go to Amazon to take you straight to Amazon Smile, so you don't have to think about it. And anytime you order anything, they donate money to MWDTSA. There's care package lists. They do drives for various things. There's the Kennel Talk that he was talking about just a minute ago that has, stories, photographs, all kind of information. Pretty much that website will put you, if you just want to go browse it and cruise it, it'll put you anywhere you want to go as far as being involved. They post things when they get together to do packing the boxes. They'll post where they're going to be and if they need volunteers or if they're still looking or have openings for volunteers to come and to be there. They usually try to get together and pack these boxes and have some food and kind of just chat and stuff. Like I said, there's old handlers that show up. Vietnam Air handlers. My wife and I pop in from time to time when we get chances. It's and we just, it's a great time. It's a great organization. They do an awful lot for the handlers and the dogs. So any support or even just words of encouragement that you can send their way is huge. And it means a lot to the handlers downrange. When we get those boxes, man, and you're down there and you're dirty and you're tired and you're 3 months without a shower and you open it up and find that they sent you some, brand new thing of baby wipes and some, instant coffee and, not the crappy junk out of the MREs, but like some Starbucks Via, the good stuff, whatever, and then you got stuff for your dog. I mean, the dogs knew what those boxes were just like we did. We'd be stupid to think they couldn't smell that there's, Oberto beef jerky and a brand new thing of Penn tennis balls inside that. They know exactly what's in there. And they get amped too. I mean, the dogs sometimes will help you open the box. They know what's coming. So, if you want to support those guys out there and those guys and gals and those working dogs, the MWDTSA does a fantastic job of doing that.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I have one more question.
Sure.
Was Toby a grass eater or an ass eater?
He was a grass eater. He did not bite. Yeah. I actually was told that if I tried to teach him how to do aggression work and bite work, that it would basically decertify him as a specialized search dog and I could lose him. So we did it very quietly. I did teach him, though, how to hit a wrap. So if you put the bite sleeve on, I could tell him to go get you. He would go get it and bite onto it and then basically sit there and look at you with those big brown eyes while you petted him while he was just sitting there mouthing the wrap.
Right, I'm such a good boy. That's awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for coming on, Jonathan. It was absolutely phenomenal. Everybody hold tight. We are going on a break here and we shall be back here shortly. So hang tight.
To his girl, each day he walks away from these things in his world, expected to be the rock, solid from bottom to top. He's so hard in the streets, but inside he feels so soft. He's dodged bullets and knives, stopped men from beating wives. But boom, someone tries to take his gun and now he took a life. And all you do is stare, spread rumors, he don't care. Replaying that moment, can't disown it with a
promises were lies. And I will never give into all the shit that life has put on you. The past will stay where it will die and bring an end into this goddamn life. I've already given up on you, but never giving up on me. The flies eat away at every day that's lost and left to rot away. In your eyes, leave trails of panting emptiness. Your feelings for me will digress, and I will never give into all the shit that life has put on you. The past will stay where it will die and bring an end into this goddamn life. I've already given up on you, but never giving up on me. And I will never give into all the shit that life has put on you. The past will stay where it will die and bring an end into this goddamn life. I've already given up on you, but never giving up on me. It's better to be alone. It's better to be alone.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Wake up early, about noon. Gotta get it together, I gotta stay in tune. Seems time's against me, but I hate to rush. Gotta keep it between the lines until I hit the dust. Got my shit together, I gotta buy some time. The key to freedom lies across the state line. It's a daily ritual, this game I play. In the life of a shadow man with a debt to pay. Hit the gravel with my hand on the radio. Here I am again, driving on the road to nowhere. this game I play. In the life of a shadow man with a debt to pay. Hit the gravel with my hand on the radio. Here I am again, driving on the road to nowhere. Just like this life that I lead, it might not take me anywhere. But I was born to travel along this lonely road to nowhere. Here I am again, driving on the road to nowhere. Just like this life that I lead, it might not take me anywhere. But I was born to travel along this lonely road to nowhere.
Hello, everyone. We are at part 3 for Tied Up Tuesday. On this Tuesday, obviously, October 17th, 2017. We are back. And as you can see from my face, I'm fucking tired. Hello, Sith Lord. How are you? Ugh. Dude, such a good interview.
I'm not gonna lie, I was crying.
I was too. And everybody saw it. But like I told Jonathan, I was like, hey, at least it wasn't ugly crying, right? Like, you know, snot wasn't bubbling out of my nose uncontrollably. So there was that. Oh, almost died.
That was kind of me before I hopped on.
Right.
Fun fact, I used to hate dogs. I used to hate them.
How do you hate dogs?
When I lived in New York, I got fucking I lived in one of those like southern Long Island neighborhoods that had all the fucking wannabe rich people that pretended they were in the Hamptons, but they all fucking have pit bulls and fucking German shepherds that, you know. And I was a, you know, little white Jewish boy from the suburbs of New York that didn't know any better and hopped fences and, you know, didn't do appropriate things.
I was gonna
so
say,
I grew to dislike dogs.
My shepherd's a fucking pushover. He is. He loves people. Except, okay, no, I lied. He did go after someone once when I went to go let the dogs outside, and there was some random dude in the backyard, and I was like, what? And Zeus goes charging after him, and you know, Zeus is older. He's somewhere in the 9 to 10 years old range now. And that's old for a shepherd, and especially for a big one like him. He's over 100 pounds. But yeah, so when he doesn't bark or anything. But yeah, this one time he fucking charged some random dude when normally he's just like, love me. Fucking, I love that dog. I'm going to be a wreck when he has to cross that rainbow bridge. A fucking wreck. Like, y'all probably won't see me for a while.
When when my ex-wife absconded with my daughter, my fucking current wife, provided me, like, I started taking care of her dogs and playing with her dogs, and now it's like I can't imagine life without dogs because they're fucking perfect.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, they are though. They are perfect. So I kind of wanted to get into something which might be controversial, and I'm okay with that because I am. So I don't know if anyone is aware of this or not, and I know my face is gonna get super bright. That's okay. I don't know what to tell you. This is my face, and I'm pale, and I fucking reflect light off of me. I glow in the dark. So California, which, you know, I will be honest, that is my home state, and I will always have some degree of affection for California, simply because that's my home state. That's where I'm from. Born and raised Californian. That being said, I think it's being ran into the ground, and I kind of hope that they secede so that I can be like, deuces, good luck everybody else. Yeah. So that's my thoughts on California. I think it's being ran into the ground, and they're more focused on protecting someone's feelings than someone's freedom. Case in point, in California, it is now illegal for someone in the healthcare profession to refer to someone as not this person's preferred pronoun. Like, these healthcare workers face jail time for not calling someone their preferred pronoun. Now, I'm all for, like, just let people do whatever the fuck they want until it encroaches someone else's freedom. And that's exactly what's happening in California. It's now everyone has to appease your feelings to avoid jail time simply because you can't make up in your mind, which is, again, a mental disorder. It's called gender dysphoria, right? Yeah. Which means you don't fucking know what you are. But yet you're going to make me call you what you think you are when it's quite clear, no, you are not that. So why do I have to be in this land of make-believe with you when that's not reality?
Oh, here it comes.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Oh, here it comes.
Yes.
Do we want to read the article first? Do you want me to read the article?
Yes, please. Okay, so basically, my fucking home state, instead of focusing on fixing their debt, fixing their gang violence, fixing homelessness, fixing the roads, fixing their fucking any sort of infrastructure within the state, instead of fixing, I don't know, their fucking dams, which, let's all remember, that was kind of a big issue in the beginning of the year. Instead of focusing on all of that shit, California Governor Jerry Brown, who honestly should just go away. Like, he's a fucking Pelosi. Like, I'm waiting for him to just kick the bucket. Cause instead of focusing on, like, hey, let's make sure we have enough funding for all of our fucking firefighters as they fight these like huge disastrous fires, which is now crippling the Napa wine industry, which is a huge tourist location for people to come to California. Instead of focusing on any of that bullshit, he goes and signs a bill that legalizes the identity of a third gender.
Oh, here we go.
All right, go for it, KJ. Go. Go.
Okay. California just became the first state in the union. Hold on, let me put on my fucking fairy princess hat. Just became the first state in the union to officially recognize paving the way for non-gender binary to be included on most official state documents. What the fuck?
Yeah. To include not just your like driver's license and passports, but to include your birth certificate. So now I'm over here wondering, like, is there a box that you checked like to be determined and wait a couple years until like I don't understand.
Oh no! Like there's one thing in here that makes absolute perfect sense to me because I'm all for transgender and trannies. I love the trannies. Girl, we have surgery, we have hormones. Just fucking transition and be done with it.
No. Okay, so my whole thing is that if that's what you want to do, let's call them transsexuals because they're changing their sex, not their gender. They're physically changing their sex, not their gender. Gender is DNA. Yeah. Sex is not.
I'm totally okay with driver's license. I'm okay with driver's license. I'm not okay with birth certificate. I'm not okay with fucking any other government issued documents of that nature.
You kind of cut out.
The one thing here that I really do like, and then I'm going to go to the, oh my God, what the fuck were you thinking that's going into the fucking state house there? I like the provision that requires transgender individuals to undergo physical evaluation and obtain a doctor's written permission before receiving documents that reflect their new gender. I like that, but now what the fuck moment? What the fuck happens with a minor? Can a minor go through with parent permission,
dude,
and not have to get that physical evaluation?
They don't need parent permission anymore to go through.
Fucking kidding me?
To go through hormone surgery? Fuck no, I'm not joking. Dude, you haven't heard these fucking? I've said this shit on air. Like, fucking children are being like when they go up to their mom and dad and say, I think little fucking Timmy comes up to you and it's fucking he's 5. Right? He doesn't fucking know his head from like a hole in the ground. He's just like out there doing his fucking thing. But he comes up to you and he's like, I think I'm a girl. So the parents take Timmy to a psychologist or psychiatrist and said mental health professional is now encouraging Timmy thinking that he's Tabitha and then recommends Timmy to go on hormone treatment.
I'm fucking done. You know what? California fucking secede. I'm fucking done with you. You got shitty gun laws. You got shitty crime rates.
It's not just in the States though. It happens a shit ton down. Like a bunch of these articles that I've been seeing, like they're from all over the world. And like a couple have been from Australia where the one that really comes to mind is a 12-year-old boy. At 12, he was 12. Goes up to his parents and says, I think I'm a chick. Parents, again, take him to mental health professionals. Mental health professionals say, hey, go along with it. If he says he's a girl, then he's a girl. They put said 12-year-old who is going through puberty on hormone treatments. 2 years later, after 2 years of this boy getting fucking estrogen, he then comes to his parents and he's like, never mind, I'm definitely a boy. So there's 2 years of fucking hormone treatments where he is now developing breast tissue. And to where his manhood is not developing. That he has missed out on. All because for a fluke in time, he was like, I think I'm a girl. And the parents are like, okay, here's some fucking estrogen. Because, obviously a 12-year-old knows all about life like life-changing and life-altering decisions. Am I right? Fucking 18-year-olds can't even fucking do that shit these days because they're so goddamn coddled. Like, to the point where, like, you know, when they're 18, then they're like, you're an legal adult now. Make all these decisions for yourself. And you're just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I need an adultier adult. I'm fucking 31 years old, and sometimes I'm still like, I need an adult because I am not adult enough to handle the situation that I'm in or make the decision that I need to make. I need an adultier adult than me. And again, I'm 31. So how are they going to expect a child to make these sort of decisions when it is statistically proven? All right, we're going to go with facts here. I know it's like a hard concept, but we're going with facts, and that it is a fact that the transgender population is at a suicide rate of about 40%, right? This is a fact. Those numbers do not change whether or not they get gender reassignment surgery and whether or not someone calls them their preferred pronoun. It doesn't fucking change.
No, the part that worries me more, as I'm reading the actual bill, is the modernizing California HIV criminalization laws that will reduce the punishment for failing to alert blood donation centers and blood collection agencies that your blood may be HIV positive from a felony to a misdemeanor. If you fail... Okay. Now, I spoke about it the second time I was on your show. About there are groups out there that are... And it's a small fucking minority. But there's a small minority of people that believe that they need to infect the world with HIV. It's a fucked up part of the internet.
Well, I mean, that's like, what is it, NAMBLA? Okay. Steer away from NAMBLA for a minute. But I mean, it's the same thing because it's a small percentage, a small fraction of a percentage, which is trying to force their beliefs and their opinions and their fucking feelings on everybody else just because they feel like, because you don't agree with me, I'm offended, and therefore you need to fucking make it right. Fuck you guys and the horse you rode in on.
That right there, felony to misdemeanor, I now will make sure, I am going to make 100% sure. State of California, my fucking wife is going to be right there to donate. I'm personally more afraid if I had HIV, which I don't, but if I had HIV, I'm more afraid of a felony than I am a misdemeanor. A misdemeanor can, a little bit easier get, from what I understand, expunged.
Their whole thing is that, this discriminates against, because it's a felony, now I can't be a dirty hoe bag because now I'm facing a felony and this offends me.
You know what? Fuck your feelings.
Right? Exactly. You have a deadly disease. If you don't fucking disclose to your fucking partner that you're about to fuck and be like, no, fuck condoms. No, the fuck, and that it brings back up this whole thing where these people are having these HIV parties, or I don't even know if that's what they're even called, but it's they have one HIV positive person and then and it's a big orgy, right? Except you don't know who's fucking positive or not. And it's like a Russian roulette on, all right, so who am I banging? And let's hope they don't have fucking HIV. That's dude, that's a thing now.
I feel God. I'm not a very religious person, but I feel God is looking down at us going, what the fuck are you thinking?
Right? Oh, thanks, progressives.
California, you have so much other more important shit to worry about, and you're focusing on fucking twat waffles that can't decide if they really have a penis or a vagina.
Yeah.
And if they want the other. I'm sorry.
And dude, the fucking left is going ape shit over this. They're like, hell yeah, California, way to be progressive. All the other states need to follow their lead. And I'm just over here No, like of all things to be focused on, like of all bills that are currently sitting in California's like Senate and House, that's the one that went through. Of all the other goddamn bills, that's the one that went through.
I'm going to see what's on the docket. I'm going to see what's on the fucking docket.
Ugh. But yeah, okay, so this article, right? So yeah, Governor Jerry Brown signed State Bill 179, the Gender Recognition Act, as part of a wave of legislation that passed through his office on Sunday. The act allows California residents to select an option X or non-binary option on driver's license, birth certificates, marriage licenses, and other state-issued documents. Democratic State Senator Scott Wiener, your fucking name, introduced the bill and took to Twitter Monday to show his appreciation to Governor Brown for passing the bill into law, claiming the legislation now allows California residents to, quote, be who they are. Now let's just, we're going to pause here for a second. And, I can't link the article right now, but I'm sure KJ can do that, Gooball. Let's pause and then realize that this whole transgender non-binary is like a fraction of a fucking percent of the population. I mean, so which is why it fucking boggles my fucking mind, and that they were so quick to pass this fucking bill to appease people who are fucking confused as to whether they sit or stand up in order to take a piss. Or for those who are like, oh, I'm not a gender, I'm non-binary. What the fuck does that even mean? So now I really think you're just fucking insane because you're like, I'm not male or female. I beg to differ because science. And, you know.
This fucking ties into, I talked about it last week, gender identity politics. The FBI just released a report about gender identity politics and ethnic identity politics, and referenced, after looking through that, I did a little more research on identity politics, and gender identity politics is so fucking complex because for every fucking speck of dirt on my kitchen floor, there's a fucking gender.
Yeah.
With an agenda.
Well, yeah. I mean, and my buddy Japala, he brings up a good point. He's like, he's confused as far as how they can put that on birth certificates. Exactly, Japala. Like, I don't know. That's why I'm wondering, like, is there like a box that says to be determined upon later date?
That's going to be a nightmare. Like, let's say you're born in California after this bill is passed. You're born tomorrow. And your parents assign no gender. And then you move to fucking Alabama.
Right? Exactly. Like, you know, and then there's all these new wave parents who are like, oh, I'm raising my kid without gendered restrictions. The fuck does that mean? Like, oh, I'm raising my kid to be non-binary. Oh, okay, so what you just said is that you're raising your child to be non-binary. Not that your kid said that, hey, I don't think I'm either one, but you're willingly imposing this fucking mental disorder on your child to where they're going to grow up and be like, you know, I'm not really sure which I am because mom and dad won't let me be either.
You know, the last time I checked, you can't insert a fucking microphone up the vagina to the fucking child and say, hey, what fucking gender are you? And it to respond with, oh, I'm fucking non-binary. Right. Thanks. And pull that fucking thing out.
Right? You know, like these whole, like, I mean, I guess on the plus side, we stopped seeing all these fucking gender reveal videos on Facebook because, assuming way to go, you're assuming that fetus is gender. Good job. Like,
I'm excited for the ones that are like, gender reveal party, and then it's fucking like black balloons. The fuck is that supposed to mean?
Non-binary. God.
You sexist pig.
You bigot. You
cisgender bigot. Fuck.
Exactly. like honestly though, like what the fuck? What the actual fuck is going on? So more on this fucking article, right? So the bill will make it easier for transgender individuals. Again, it's transsexual because you can change your sex. Again, we can change the physical appearance of your sex. We can make your dick into a vag and your vag into a dick. Way too easy. Well, I mean, it's not easy. Like, there's a lot of steps involved, but, whatever. But we physically cannot change your gender. No matter how many surgeries you've got, no matter how many fucking hormones you have running through your fucking body, you physically cannot alter your DNA from an XX to an XY or an XY to an XX. You can't fucking do it. DNA deciphers gender. Sorry, not sorry. That's how it fucking works. Science, bitches. Suck a dick. So, anyways, the article goes on to say it also paves the way for non-binary individuals to replace existing documentation to reflect their current gender status. For example, they can now switch the gender marked on their birth certificate and receive a new document with, quote, non-binary selected. And removes a somewhat provision in California law that requires transgender individuals to undergo a physical evaluation and obtain a doctor's written permission before receiving documents that reflect their new gender. The law is one of several controversial gender-related provisions working their way through the California legislature. California's LGBT Senior Bill of Rights would make it a crime to knowingly and repeatedly misgender an individual in senior housing or in a nursing care facility. Again, so what they're saying is that it would be a crime punishable by jail time to mislabel someone's gender. Which is where I have a problem. This is where I have an issue. When your feelings impose someone's freedom. Just because you feel like you're a dude when it was obviously you were born when it's like if you were born female but you feel like you're a dude and so that's what you say you are, okay, fine, whatever. I'm gonna call you a chick though because that's what you fucking like. That's what you are. Biologically, you are a female. That's what you are. But now if I don't recognize your preferred pronoun, now I risk going to jail? Fuck you. Like, that it doesn't even make sense to me. And then there's, then KJ, like you said, there's the modernizing, and this is the bill's name, modernizing California HIV criminalization laws would reduce the punishment for failing to alert blood donation centers and blood collection agencies that your blood may be HIV positive. So now, if you're fucking HIV positive, now, according to California, you don't even have to fucking disclose that when you go and donate blood. I don't know why the fuck you would donate blood if you're HIV positive, unless you're some sort of sick, sadistic person and be like, you know what? I feel like infecting a shit ton of people because I fucking can. So I'm going to go donate blood. Good luck, everybody. Like, I can't even fathom the amount of lawsuits that would happen against hospitals if this blood that has been donated is not properly checked and screened
terrifying thing?
Before being transfused into someone who is HIV negative.
You want to hear a terrifying thing?
Yes.
So I just typed into Google, I want to donate my HIV positive blood. And I came up with a shit ton of articles that said, oh, no, you can't. Don't do it. Ba, 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 la, la, la. Bad idea. Don't be an idiot. So then I changed one word. I want to donate my blood intentionally being diagnosed with HIV positive. Holy fucking shit. There are, as of today, 14 fucking different websites that are already planning donations.
For HIV positive blood.
Yeah. Now, a lot of these have not gotten responses. They're fucking like 4chan, like they're like fucking knockoffs of 4chan, like 8chan or B-chan or whatever. But a lot of these are those fucking darker side of the internet websites, and a lot of them haven't gotten any responses. But there are several that have.
Oh, go
that
on.
Are fucking dark.
Go on.
About their planning on meeting up at a collection site in Los Angeles off of XYZ Street. And I'm sitting there going, this is fucked up. Why the fuck would you? And now I'm probably infected with, my computer's probably got HIV just from looking at it. But god damn it, it hasn't even been a fucking day. A fucking day, and fucking assholes want to fucking do fucking stupid things. Fucking Darwinism.
But see, it's not, you can't even call it Darwinism.
Get them in fucking trouble, and enough times you're gonna go to fucking jail, and it should be a fucking felony.
Dude,
it's a fuck.
You can't even call it Darwinism because it's not like these unknowing people are going out of their way to obtain HIV positive blood. It's being forced on them.
Yeah, good point. But still, it's fucking horrific. Not even a fucking day. Like, you know what? I had hope. I had fucking hope in humanity typing this in. Tonight, I'm going to finish my bottle of fucking Captain Morgan and just drown out my sorrows. Holy fucking shit.
Well, I receive a blood product every month, so...
Right?
Yeah.
Dude, good luck. You might want to go get tested. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. Wish for the best.
Right? Like, hopefully this batch isn't infected.
Like, y'all test that?
Exactly. Like, and it's not even.
If you end up getting it, Mom, I'll throw you an HIV positive party.
Oh, thanks.
Wait, like the orgy kind? Where, like, we pass it around. It's like, good luck, everybody.
I'll get a nice fucking cake that says, sorry you got HIV, and then we'll move on from there.
Honestly, like, I've told my husband, if I'm ever in hospice, like, bring me balloons that say, get well soon.
Right?
So I would, like, enjoy a cake like that.
Send cards every day that say, get well soon, coming to see you, hope you get better.
Right. Oh, hey, look, Ice joined the conversation. Fucking.
Here we go.
You missed the first half where California is the first state to legally recognize a third gender that they can now put on your birth certificate, driver's license, marriage license, and a shit ton of other state identifications. Because fucking reasons. Am I right? It's like, so you've got like, again, like, this is the bill that passed. Like, these are the bills that are passing in California. And not, again, hey, let's do something about our inner city violence. Or the fact that Oakland is nothing but a ghetto. Like, let's try to clean this shit up, right? Or, I don't know, veteran homelessness. Or the homeless problem in fucking San Francisco alone.
Well, Oakland's going to be solved pretty quickly.
How?
Well, the Raiders are going to go to Vegas, so all the fans are going to go to Vegas.
No, I don't think that's how it works. But
I don't know. I was there for the Oakland Titans game. Team most in jail versus the fan base most in jail. It was a pretty interesting day.
Was it a good day?
There was only 6 fights in my lane of traffic during that day, you know? On that first run.
Yeah. But yeah, so fucking...
There's more important things.
Wow. Ugh. Fucking vulgar shit over in
Stefan
Mixer.
Stefan says scratch and sniff test. I can.
There is no scratch and sniff for fucking HIV. But apparently Goldfish likes to fuck girls, or a girl. Sorry, he says, I heart to fuck a girl. Good to know. Hopefully you're smart about it.
I'm proud of you, Goldfish.
Right?
I want you to know that.
Do you want a fucking cookie? I don't understand where you're going with this. Try again next time. Be better.
I'm trying to understand whose pussy that you're agreeing with, Goldfish.
It's probably 12.
Right? Oh, you're so cool, man. You're so cool.
Totally edge-tastic, bruh.
What the fuck?
Okay. This makes my sickle cell act up. Jesus fucking Christ, Heath.
Heath.
Oh my god. You know, fuck it. We're just gonna laugh at all the diseases.
Right? But no, like, it's just, like, it's so aggravating. Ugh.
You know, on the bright side, you know, making it easier for them to get surgeries, we can now ask them formally, does your dick touch your butt?
Does your dick touch your ass? No,
Well, yes, it's detached.
Right?
I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, they cut it off earlier and then they fucking made a mold out of it. I don't know. Now I can literally fuck my own ass. Ugh. too far, Minx. Too far. Now, like, it's not that it's making the surgery easier to get. It's just, hey, if you think that you're a chick now, you can, or like, if you're a chick and you were born female, you can now, and you feel that you're a dude, you can now go back and have your birth certificate changed to reflect how you feel.
Grown-ass adults I'm okay with until they decide that, like, they don't want to pay $115,000 a year to live in California, and they move to Alabama, and when they get to Alabama, it's like, so what gender are you?
Right? Oh,
well, I'm non-binary.
The fuck does that mean? Right? Dude, I'm not even in Alabama, and I'm just like, I don't understand what you mean by non-binary. Like, I've seen these videos of these because I'm looking at them and I'm like, you sound female, but you look male. Like, are you a hermaphrodite? Like, that's a legit thing. Like, do you have both sets down there? Because that's an actual thing. Ergo, why there's a fucking word for it, right? Non-binaries only come about in the last, like, couple years. So that's not a thing for me. Like, I feel like you guys just made that shit up.
Non-binary sounds like a fucking 12-year-old trying to be fucking edgy in a Dungeons and Dragons game. What race are you? Non-binary. I'm a half-orc. I'm a halfling. I'm a tiefling, and I'm non-binary. What? What class are you? Non-fucking binary. Dude, just pick fucking barbarian or fucking fighter. No. This sounds like a bad fucking campaign from Dungeons and Dragons. I swear to God. Oh my God, I'm snorting.
Dude, KJ. Oh, okay, we're good. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm dying. But no, you know, like what are they gonna do if you become a missing person and they're like, we're looking for an it and we're not really sure, right? Or wait for it, you become a missing person, right? You're fucking kidnapped, you're fucking murdered, and your body is left somewhere to just fucking rot. Years down the road, they find a fucking skeleton and they're like, we're not sure who it is. So they run DNA and they're like, well, it's male, but the dental records match up with the female, but it's male DNA. So we're not, but yet the birth certificate has been changed a couple times from male to female to non-binary back to female again. So we're really not sure who the fuck this is. Like, does anyone else not see the problem with this?
Fucking, God forbid, what if there's a fucking, like, Amber Alert, and it's a fucking kid, and it's no longer fucking, like, the usual, you know, age 7, little Julie, age 7.
Exactly.
Pronouns are Z's or Zim.
Right?
Prefers non-binary.
Right?
It's
prefers non-binary pronouns. But what the fuck are we looking out for? Like, I see an Amber Alert, but you're not telling me what I'm supposed to be looking for. Like,
fucking Dale brings up a good point too. Enjoy getting a passport. That part will be fun. The part that I'm gonna find more entertaining is actually going to like fucking Japan or fucking China. Oh, what are you here for, mister? Did you just assume my fucking gender after the fucking Chinese gulag for you? Fuck, I'm on point tonight.
KJ! Oh my god. So bad.
God damn, I'm on point tonight, Migs. Holy shit.
Right? You're so good. All great point, Gooball. Or you commit a murder. But you are, and like you get injured, so some of your DNA is at the scene of the crime, right? So they're looking for male DNA. However, you've changed your sex to like you've changed your gender from male to female. So now the cops are looking for a fucking dude when in fact that said dude is dressed up and playing the part of a woman.
Now, in that case, I would fully understand. Like, there's definitely going to be some department restructuring with Department of Health, shit like that. They're going to keep records of when things are changed. When that instance pops up, like commit a crime as a male, you know, they're going to keep records of like, yeah, it's definitely this person. Oh, how can you tell? It says she's a female. Yeah, but these are the records of her going from male to female to non-binary to fucking Thomas the Tank Engine to fucking back to female.
Thomas the Tank Engine.
You know, we have the records. Oh, okay, so it's definitely her? It's definitely her. Now, the part that worries me is that this is leading up to when you're choosing feeling over fucking science. You're leading up to it's part of the dystopian model for literature, which if you look at dystopian literature, you know, it always has something other than science leading the whole world. For example, Brave New take your feelers, you know, take your uppers and fucking feel high. Mm-hmm. The minute they start adding some sort of fucking, I don't know, microchip or fucking blood test real quick, like, hey, you want to enter this building, put your finger here and, you know, we'll test your blood to make sure you're good to go. I'm fucking disappearing to the backwoods of whatever goddamn state I'm living in and just gone. Sorry, kids, no more fucking Netflix.
Dude, I'd be so pissed if they put my Netflix.
Make sure you got your fucking Comcast fucking hotspot going, baby, because we're fucking deucing. That's because once you start fucking prioritizing feelings over facts and
or science,
emotion over science, that's when you have fucking retardedness pop up and people able to play and prey on those emotions and feelings. Like, for example, Governor Jerry fucking Brown, Nancy fucking Pelosi, what's that fucking shitbag on the Republican side?
Which one?
The Zodiac Killer.
Oh. Him?
Yeah. Everyone kept saying it was a Zodiac Killer. Ted Cruz. When you start playing on people's emotions, that's when things can start snowballing out of control.
Friggin' Dale says it only takes a second to show them how you feel about their gender. The cops call it assault, but you know, whatever.
I mean,
what the fuck?
God fucking damn it! I had something for that damn one. I can't get over it. God damn it!
Oh my god!
Now I'm gonna move away from like the legal side of things. I'm gonna move towards the innocent dating side of things. Imagine a young, manly KJ who's not having a Buddha belly, rolling up to the club, and I'm ready to bump uglies, and get jiggy with it, as the kids say today. And
did you wait? You're getting ready to do what?
Get jiggy with it, Will Smith. You're going full 1999 here. And this girl turns out not to be a girl, but a guy. Yeah, how many people are going to be excited to find out that their entire marriage of, I had a miscarriage, is a sham?
Right? Good point. If it's a male to female transition, and so he's had his dick changed into a vag, and so dick and scrotum, by the way, we take the scrotum skin and fucking, so I don't know how, but fucking hair's growing in there. But some guys are like, I didn't know. But there's hair inside. Like, that doesn't happen on a biological woman. But whatever. Anyways, I digress. So she now has never told her husband, like, oh yeah, I used to be a dude. And her husband's like, let's start a family. And she is like, sure. Right. And then, so you go, you try. And you're like, nothing's happening. And it's like, oh wait, because I don't have a fucking uterus. So there's that.
Or tying it back to the first hour where I ran to my computer to come talking. They adopt. They take care. They try to have a child. Oh, wait, honey, I can't have kids. I was born a man. And now you're back in divorce court with adopted children.
Right.
Ooh.
Now who gets them?
And I can't talk about certain states, but I know in the several that I can talk about, you can't hold that against them in court because they're no-fault states. Except for Tennessee. Fuck yeah, Tennessee. Because they're no-fault divorces. So it doesn't get counted against the grounds for divorce. And you lose the kids. And the idea of having a kid with your soulmate, who you find out isn't your soulmate, is just a dude with a dick tucked inside himself.
Well, no, so Dale, the drugs, like the hormones, don't make them sterile. So basically, when we go about doing reassignment surgery, you can YouTube all these videos about all these surgeries, by the way, and you can be like, oh, she's right. So for male to female, we remove the testes and the vas def and everything that it takes to create sperm. We take it out. It's gone. Goodbye. And then it gets really brutal as far as shaping the vagina. It's bloody and it's brutal. Ugh.
It's definitely not my cup of tea.
Not mine either. And then, going female to male, we again remove all the organs necessary that would say that you're female. Which is why when men get pregnant, it's because they haven't fully transitioned. Ergo, which is why they still have a vagina and a uterus and ovaries. So, all those fucking stories you see, like in tabloids and shit, like, oh, this man is pregnant. Well, no, he's a chick. So that, biologically, scientifically, that is the only way this is possible, is because that man still has a uterus, which means that man is a woman. So
I'm a little worried about Boss, though, because now he's sitting there saying he's hungry. So apparently fucking gender reassignment surgery makes you hungry, Boss?
Oh, I'm hungry too, actually. Muscle looks just like steak, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. And then when we use electrocautery to fucking Heath, I digest. But like I digress. But yeah, and then when we use like electrocautery to like burn tissue, it smells like a barbecue.
Kane says, "What the hell?
Who?
And you're a nightmare for real." Mixer chat.
You mangle dicks for a living. I don't know.
I mean, it's a living. I try to make sure the hand grenade is firmly duct taped in between the legs first, but you know.
Oh my goodness.
Oh wait, I'm not supposed to talk about my my off duty activities with the taco truck.
Right? Exactly.
Fuck.
Way to go, you. Way to go. All right. So it is now time for housekeeping because we're at the end of the hour. Dude, it's already been an hour.
Time flies when you're making fun of dickless dicks.
Right? All right. So as you guys know, we have a show 7 nights a week, and shows start at 8 p.m. Eastern, also known as 2000. And tonight is Tied Up Tuesday with myself, Minx, and then we had Gray Cloud, but Gray Cloud left. So now we have KJ, but it's originally with Gray Cloud. And then tomorrow we have WTF Wednesday with Jim Beam and Pookie, and they have a guest. They have Brian Groves, Wendell Lay, and Logan Van from Codename Bootstrap. Codename Bootstrap is a new nonprofit organization that has the goal of helping vets help other vets through actions of compassion and listening ear, or just being there for a brother or sister in arms. So that's happening tomorrow. Thursday is Sergeant's Time with Ice, Mike Golf, and Doc Madness. And they have a guest as well. Jonathon Copinger. I really hope I said that correctly. From CBS Radio ConnectingVets.com. Jonathon is a California native. Woo! And reports full-time on the Department of Veterans Affairs for ConnectingVets.com. And then Friday, we have Friday Night Freedom with myself, Minx, and Mud Puppy. Saturday is Saturday Night Savagery. And that is with Jay Reddy and Pookie and Doc Madness. And this not this Saturday. Sorry, I got super excited because of who it is. But next Saturday, so October 28th, the Saturday before Halloween, they have Greg Stevens from Research and Investigations of the Paranormal coming on. So founder Greg Stevens is a retired first sergeant who started investigating paranormal events in the state of Texas. He will be on to talk about his organization, his team, what they do, and the things they have experienced. They use scientific methods to gain a better understanding of unexplained events. Research and Investigations of the Paranormal, or RIP. I like it. Provides their investigations at no cost to the client. They also promote public awareness and preservation of historical sites and work with the public to educate how paranormal investigations are conducted. And then, so we did Saturday Night Savagery, and then we have Monday Night Edition with Ice and Cuffs. And that brings us back around to Tuesday. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays afternoon, we have Jose's Taco Truck with KJ and Ghosty. And KJ, tell us a little bit about your show. KJ?
Oh, man.
Oh, there you are. I know.
And I was playing on my phone. Oh, whatever. Come join us at the Taco Truck. I posted... I made I ended the day with a great question. I want to hear from everybody on Thursday about it. Because of how divided the country is, as veterans, what can we do to help heal the division our country has? And no, that does not include soldering shut all the transgenders, vaginas, and pee-pee holes. And I would love to hear from everybody, and come on out. I'm going to dedicate an entire block of time on Thursday to get your calls in and hear how we, as a community, as a huge and growing community, can help heal based off of a few open letters that were addressed to Colin Kaepernick, the president, several other people that are calling for us to unite and be that driving force to end this division.
Mm.
So feel free, tune in this Thursday and every Tuesday and Thursdays at noon to hear what controversial and exciting topic we're talking about at Jose's Taco Truck. My fryers are down at the moment, so is the credit card machine, but I'll have them up soon. Cash only, no EBT.
Cash only. What about check?
Money order or cashier's check. No personal checks.
Damn it. I mean,
I will accept donations through PayPal.
Fucking KJ. Sorry, a candle just went out. Which is why it's now like smoky in here. All right, yeah. No. That sounds good. There we go. Housekeeping complete. Time for bed though. I'm fucking exhausted. I know it doesn't look like it because I'm like laughing and smiling, but I'm like dead right now.
I'm gonna stay up and play video games because that's what I do.
Oh, Stefan wants to know if you accept food stamps at your taco truck.
EBT buys.
All right, you guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening, whatever that entails. And I hope you have an amazing week. And I will see you guys on Friday. So, yeah. See you guys then. Have a great rest of your week. Bye, you guys.
Shots!
Just walking on shells, this feeling that love conquers everything else until you reach the point in mind. There was a failure to communicate, so sad to leave, but we were forced to wait. Nobody said we had to relate. At the end, it's over. I'm finally sober. I'm finally sober. My only demon, my only regret is that I left you with scars so that you'll never forget. Sick of forgiving my mistakes and my faults. Shattered your glass onto millions when I ripped it apart. There's nothing left. Love is gone. So there was a failure to communicate. So sad to leave, but we were forced to wait. Nobody said we had to relate. At the end, it's over. I'm finally sober. I'm finally sober. said we had to relate. At the end it's over, I'm finally sober. I'm finally sober. There was a failure to communicate. So since to leave but we were forced to wait. Nobody said we had to relate. At the end it's over, I'm finally sober.